5-minute follow along stretch. If you enjoy this flow, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll have more of these flows every single Sunday. So we're going to start in a forward fold with our knees slightly bent, hands grabbing opposite elbows, just rocking back and forth gently. This is going to get into your hamstrings, calves a little bit, and your back. So now what I want you to do is start to squat down and then go into a wide leg forward fold. So your feet are going to be to the edges of your mat. You're going to squat down, forward fold. Squat down, forward fold. Squat down, forward fold. This is a really good mobility exercise. Once you widen your feet a little bit, toes pointed out to the outside of your mat, squat down, forward fold. Squat down, forward fold. Now go ahead and widen your legs just a little bit and go into a forward fold. You can put your hands on your thighs, ankles, the floor, or you can come onto your elbows as I'm showing here. Wherever you are, I want you to start rocking back and forth. So you're going to go into your heels, then your toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. If you are on your elbows, try coming on your hands, heels, toes. Then come to flat foot, and you're just going to shift your hips side to side a little bit, testing different angles of the hips. Now bend and straighten your elbows. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. Walk yourself back. You're going to sit on your heels. You're going to bring your left foot forward into a low lunge. Then go back into a half split, low lunge. Bring your hands to the mat now. Half split, low lunge, half split, low lunge, half split, low lunge. If you've been watching my channel, you know this is my favorite. Now you're going to go half split, low lunge, and then push your knee to the side with that same side hand. So half split, low lunge, get into the inner thigh by pushing that knee out, taking a twist and holding it here for a second. Now go ahead and bring that foot back. Come into a quick puppy pose or child's pose, and then onto the other side. So right foot forward, hand on the knee, low lunge, half split, low lunge, half split, hands to the mat, low lunge, half split, low lunge, half split. Now push the knee out with the same side hand, half split, low lunge, knee out, half split, low lunge, knee out, hold. Awesome job. Go ahead and bring that foot back and back into a quick puppy pose or child's pose. I want you to come now to seated on your heels or an easy pose and just do some neck rolls side to side. We're going to get into the upper body a little bit, full body stretch here. Just doing half circles side to side. Now stop on the right side. Bring that hand above your head to your ear and hold. Then you're going to bring the left hand into a side stretch. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blade, go into the side stretch, then turn towards the mat. Shoulder blade, and I'm showing this on here on screen, side stretch towards the mat, and then just hold your side stretch. Take some arm circles backwards. This is something I do pre-workout too a lot, so if you like to lift, switch directions. This is a great thing to do. You can do it standing. You don't have to get onto your all fours or knees. Go ahead and go back to neck rolls, side to side. Stop on the left side this time, hand above the head, and hold. Hand to the mat. And we're going to go into that flow, so squeeze the shoulder, side stretch towards the mat. Squeeze the shoulder, side stretch towards the mat. Squeeze the shoulder, side stretch to the mat. Hold your side stretch. Take those arm circles in one direction. Take it in the opposite direction. Take a few shoulder rolls here, shake it out. Go ahead and swing your feet around. I want you to bring your feet into like a 90-degree angle. So it's a very light straddle, not pushing yourself too hard here. You can come onto your hands, your elbows, or all the way flat to the mat. If you are coming flat to the mat, I want you to think of leading with your belly button and not your head. So it's much better to be on your elbows or your hands and have a flat back than it is to be all the way to the mat, but with your back extremely rounded. What we're going to do is you're going to start with your right leg lunged forward in a low lunge. Your back knee is going to be down, hands on the mat, and we're just going to hold here. Today's flow is going to be mostly for mostly intermediate to advanced. There will be beginner modifications as well. So for the beginners or people newer to front splits, if you don't have it all the way down to the mat, I'm going to be leveling up each time I introduce a new split. So you just hold at the level you're most comfortable. Now I want you to lift and lower your back knee 10 times. So lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and hold. So you're going to now hold with your back knee lifted. And you can just pull slightly down now. Down, 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 down. You can rock back and forth here. Again, this is just getting into slightly different angle of the hips. This is going to be really deep into the hips and hamstrings today. Now drop that back knee, push your hips back so your hips are square towards the front of the mat, and you're going to go into a half split here. What we're going to do is wave our spine down and up. So we're going to do this 10 times. Down and up, just opening up the hamstring, down and up, down, 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 up, hold. Now I want you to take your foot and you're going to rock it left and right. Just changing the angle. Your hands are on the mat, just foot left, right, and you're going to do that 5 times. Now grab your foot if you can, or you can wrap a strap around it and pull yourself in. So I want you to be pulling yourself towards your leg with your back flat and pulling your foot so you get a deep calf stretch as well. Getting the calf stretch here is really important. Perfect. Go back into that low lunge with your knee down, and you're going to take that same side hand and push your knee out, getting a little bit into the inner thigh here and hip. So just push and hold. Just getting warm up here, getting our muscles ready to do some front splits. Now you're going to toe heel your foot to the outer edge of the mat, bring your hands to the center in lizard, lift your back knee and hold. If this is comfortable, then go ahead and drop onto your elbows. And breathe. Let me know in the comments how far you are in your splits journey. Do you have your front splits all the way? Still working on it? Do you have your middle splits? What are you working on? Now go ahead and come on up. Bring your foot back behind you. Go into a quick puppy or child's pose, something to just neutralize, get yourself ready. Then what we're going to do is grab the foam roller. So any kind of foam roller will work here. We're not really using it for its intended purpose. I want you to place your front shin or heel on the foam roller. Bring your hands to the mat and slide in and out. So you don't need to come as far as I am. You can go further. You can slide just a couple inches out, but just in and out, engaging our muscles and warming up. I've talked a bit about this, but active flexibility and being strong enough to have flexibility is extremely important so you can be safely flexible and don't have problems in the long run. So you're just going to go out and in, out and in, out and in, getting a little bonus foam rolling to the calf too. Perfect. Now move that to the side, and I want you to grab both blocks, no matter what level you're at. Just a heads up, I get real confused. My brain just left all sense of reason on where the blocks were supposed to be. So you're going to watch me struggle here for a minute. My bad. I've done this a million times. I don't know what happened. But you're going to actually be bringing it to your front leg under your hamstring near your glute, where your glute and hamstring connect. That's where you're going to want the blocks to be. And you're going to see me figure that out in just a moment here. There we go. So I want you to just hold here. Again, this could be super easy for you or super challenging. If it's super challenging, I want you to stay here for the rest of the time. If it is not, I still want you to come here so you can warm your body up and get it used to being in the splits, because we're going to be going pretty deep here. So I want your body to be really ready to do that. Perfect. So if you are ready, you can go ahead and remove one of the blocks. So now you just have one block underneath you. Perfect. And then if that's okay, then you're going to go all the way down into your front split here. I did do a long stretch yesterday because I went to Vegas this weekend, which is not something I really do that often. But, you know, I definitely wasn't feeling my top self. Awesome. So go ahead and bring the block to the front of your mat. If you're very comfortable in your front split, don't try this if you're not super, super comfortable. But if you are, bring that front foot on that block. So you're going to be in a little bit of an over split here. Breathe deeply and be very careful. If you're comfortable, walk forward into a hamstring stretch. If you're not here and this looks crazy, you will get here. It is just consistency. I have lots of splits training videos on my channel. Keep doing those. Be consistent. Stretch at least 10 minutes every day. And I promise one day you're going to look back and be like, wow, I've gotten so far. So come into a wide butterfly here, just pulsing your legs. We're just loosening up a second before we switch to the other side. We're going to do all that on the other side. You can lean forward if that's comfortable, just getting into your inner thighs a little bit. Then bring your feet in as close as they go. Flap your legs up and down into butterfly. And come down if you're ready. In Vegas, I got this shirt, and it's like a Marilyn Monroe shirt, and I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. I thought it was cool, like how much different kinds of merch they had out there. I'm not usually like a huge t-shirt purchaser, but they had so many cool things. So go ahead and give yourself a gentle hug here. Perfect. We're going to do all that on the left side now. So come into a low lunge, back knee down. You're going to bring your hands to the mat. Just hold. Now lift your back knee and lower, lift, 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 hold. Now pulse, down, 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 down. Rock forward and back. Go ahead and push back into that half split here. Again, hips facing the front of the mat. You want them to be even. We're going to go into those spinal waves. So down, up, 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 down, hold. Now just swing your foot side to side here, getting to some different positions. Now grab that foot with either your hand or a strap, pull it close to you first, getting into the calf, and then fold forward. I really want to prioritize the calf stretch here. Perfect. So go ahead and come forward in that low lunge, knee down, and push your knee out. Just holding here. Then come into lizard, so bring your foot to the outside of the mat, hands in the center, and lift your back leg. Hold. Think of really engaging that back leg, and then come onto your elbows only if that feels comfortable for you. Well, comfortable-ish. Perfect. Come on out of that, and you're going to grab your foam roller, place that under your heel or shin, hands on the mat, and slide out and in, slide out and in. Try and point your toe the whole time. I struggled with that on both sides, I'm noticing, but definitely try to point your toe if you can. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Again, a few inches out is perfect. Whatever it takes to feel your inner thighs engage. Now grab both blocks, no matter what level you're at, and you're going to put them under that front hamstring glute area. Make sure your hips are facing forward. I like to place my hands on my hips. You've seen me do this a few times now because it helps me know that my hips are facing center. Sometimes you can't tell that your hips are slightly turned out. And this helps me be aware of where my hip bones are. Perfect. Now remove one of the blocks if you're ready. Remove that last block into a full split if you're there. Perfect. Now, only if you feel super comfortable in your regular split and you tried out on the other side, I want you to come into your over split. So block at the front of the mat. Place your foot on the block, engage your core and your glute, keep your body super safe, and then fold forward if you're ready into that hamstring stretch. Beautiful job. So go ahead and swing your foot around. You can move the blocks to the side, the foam roller. Just twist your knees side to side here, or whatever feels good. Come into this reverse tabletop position, stretching out the front of the body. Drop down, legs in front of you, just shake it out. Give it some shakes, grab your toes with your hands or a strap and just round out your back. You can do a quick fold if you want, whatever you need. Cross your hands in front of you, hands open, feeling the effects and the pride that you have for sticking with this even though it was difficult. Inhale, put your hands above your head and take a deep breath in. One more time, hands up, deep breath, exhale. We're going to start in a forward fold with our hands at our elbows, just rocking back and forth gently here. You can keep a slight bend in the knees as well. When you're ready, I want you to place your hands on the mat and come into some waves. So you're going to make some gentle waves with your spine. We're going to do 10 here. So going up and down, up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Beautiful. Now come on over to the right side and we're going to do 10 waves to the right. So coming up, down, 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 and come to the center and just hold at the center for a brief second here. Then come over to the left and we're going to do those waves again. Up, down, 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 back to center. Place your hands on the mat, and then you're just going to drop your hips and lift. So squat and lift. Down, up, 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 down, up. Come to center, just rock your hips back and forth. And then we're going to make a circle with our hips. You're going to bring your hips all the way around in a circle to the right. Just going down and around, down and around. We're going to do 10 of those. Down and around. This is a really good mobility warm-up. Down, around, down, around, down, around. Go ahead and continue those circles. I'll let you know when to switch sides. Now go ahead and switch. We're going to go down, around, this time to the left. Down, around, down, around. You can make this as big or as small as you'd like. So you can go closer to the floor than I'm going. You can just go way more shallow. The option is yours here. Perfect. Just go ahead and grab your elbows and hang in another forward fold. Perfect. Now come into a yogi squat here. Elbows at your knees. Push into your right knee, in and out 8 times. So you're going to go out, in, 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 out, in. Then switch sides. Out, in, 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 out, in. Just go ahead and hold, pushing the right knee out. Then extend that arm to the sky and pulse that back 10 times. You're going to twist here. Take 5 rolls at the wrists. Just saying hello. And then if it's in your practice, you can come into a bind. So grabbing the opposite hand or wrist behind you. Looking up at the sky, twisting deeply. Push on the left knee. Extend the arm, pulse back 10 times. Take 5 rolls at the wrist. Come into a yogi squat. Then you're going to extend your left leg. You can either be with your hips higher or lower. You're going to lift that bent leg and lower. So lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. We're doing this 8 times. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Then when you get to the bottom, you're going to hold. You can either have your hips all the way down as I'm doing here, or you can lift them slightly just like that. I'm going to show you some fun variations to play with. So you can try just pushing that right knee out to the side, holding on to the other side shin. You can come into a little side stretch, either grabbing your ankle with your hand or planting your elbow on the leg. If you do that, I want you to come chest to the mat 5 times. So you're going to go in, out, in, out, in. You can also hold at center on your hands or elbows. Again, these are all options. If you're not doing these, please just hold. Beautiful. Switch sides. So now we're going to go to the left and we're going to lift and lower. Lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Then we're going to hold, and we're going to do those same variations on the other side. So you can have your hips lifted more or keep them all the way planted. You can push that knee out to the side. You can come into that side stretch on your hand or elbow. If you do that, I want you to come to face the mat 5 times on your own time. You can also come to center and hold on your hands or elbows. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Now I want you to grab 2 blocks. You're going to have them on the medium setting, and you're going to come into a lunge on your left leg, keeping your hands on those blocks. And we're just going to hold there for a second. Then when you're ready, you're going to bring the blocks to their lowest setting and plant your hands on them. Then come into a half split or a hamstring stretch, holding onto the blocks. And you're going to come back and forth 8 times. You're going to go back, forth, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. You can hold that hamstring stretch for a second if you'd like. Now what I want you to do is stack the 2 blocks, and you're going to place them under your front thigh around where your glute meets your hamstring. I want you to do this no matter what level you're at to get kind of warmed up here. So we're just going to hold for a little bit. I'm going to be advancing this exercise, but if this is your level, then stay here throughout, and I want you to hold deeply. You can briefly come out when I have everybody switch, and then I want you to come back into it. Now, if you're ready, you can remove one of the blocks. You're going to come into just 1 block hold. You can walk your hands forward a little bit. You can walk them backwards a little bit. This is a good warm-up for some things we'll be doing in the front split, full front split. So I want you to walk forward and back 3 more times. So just going forward and back. Your hands don't need to touch the mat. After 3 times, you can remove that block if you're ready and come into your full front split. We're going to hold a minute before trying that same thing in the full front split. You can rock back and forth. You can fold over that front leg completely. Again, rocking back and forth. We're going to do that 4 times. You can either walk with your hands on the mat forward or all the way to your elbows. And how far back is totally up to you. If you can tilt your head back, do it. Swing that back leg forward and just shake it out here for a second. You can give yourself a nice big hug. You can do some cat-cows. Just take a second. Awesome. So what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So we're going to grab those blocks again on the medium setting, and you're going to step your right foot forward this time. I always like starting on my bad leg when I remember, because then the second side feels a lot easier and I tend to be less motivated by the time I get to the second side, and I don't want to cut that stretching short. And if for some reason I get lazy and I do cut it short, I'm going to be less impacted if I do it on the good side. So just holding on the medium setting here. Great job. Go ahead and go back to the hamstring stretch and forward. We're going to go forward and back 8 times. Just going forward and backwards. Beautiful, keep it up. You can hold for a second when you go back, and then when you're ready, you're going to grab those 2 blocks again, stack them on top of each other, no matter what level you're at. I want you to do this, and you're going to place them under that front thigh around where your glute meets your hamstring, and you're going to hold. This one should feel a little bit more relaxed. Again, same as the other side, I'm going to be advancing this, but if this is your level, I want you to stay here. You can come out of it briefly when I switch, because everybody else will get that reprieve, but I want you to come back into it. Don't quit. I know it can be disheartening when you feel like other people are advancing and you're not, but you are advancing because you're going to get there if you're consistent. You can remove one of the blocks now if you're ready. You can walk forward, backward, forward. So we're going to do this 5 times, same as before. When you come forward, you can come all the way under your hands, or you can come onto your elbows or a middle place between. When you come back, you can walk as far back as you'd like or as close as you'd like. You can leave your head up, or if you want to advance, bring it back. Then, if you're ready, and only if you're ready, remove one of the blocks and come into the full front split on this side. You can rock back and forth here. Come on forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. Then swing that front leg around. Shake it out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through 2 different ways to get into front splits. So we're not going to do a hold here. I just wanted to show you some other variations you can play with. So the first one you're going to do, you're going to start by extending your left leg. You're going to take your right leg and extend it directly out from your hip with your knee bent. You could forward fold here. Then if you're ready, you can bring that knee back so it's about 75% back and hold. Only a few more minutes left, so hang in there. And then if you're ready, when you're ready, you can go ahead and come into the full front split just like that. So just bringing the knee back slightly and rolling into it. What we do on one side, again, we have to do on the other. So let's switch sides. You're going to extend your right leg, bring your left leg 50% back, then 75% back. When you're ready, you're just going to slide it all the way back beneath you into the full front split. Great job. So I'm going to take a quick second here. I'm going to come into a brief puppy pose, cat-cow, whatever you need. I just want you to take a relaxing second to shake it out. We're going to be sliding into our front splits just 1 time through on each side here, and that's the last way to get into it. Probably the most graceful, dancey way, but also the hardest and the most intimidating when you're starting out. So come into a down dog, walk it out a little bit, and then step your right foot forward into a pyramid pose. You can tilt your hips back and forth for a second, and then slide all the way down. My mat's super sticky, which I usually love, but sometimes hard to slide. Then swing that leg around, Step all the way back into your down dog, walk it out if you'd like, and then step your left foot forward. Rock your hips side to side. Then slide into a full front split if you're ready. You can also slide down and just hold yourself up as well. You don't need to come into that full split. Bring that leg forward. We're just going to come into a quick butterfly here. You did so good. We're just about done. So come into a butterfly. Just shake your knees back and forth. You can come into a back bend here for a second. You can push into one knee, then the other, then one knee, then the other, one knee, the other. Bring your knees to your chest. Just rocking back and forth here gently. Go ahead and drop your feet to the edges of the mat and let your knees fall in, just having a low back release and letting your body fully relax all the way. You did so good. For the challenge details, please see the comment box below. I outline what flows to do, what to do every single day as part of the challenge. It's going to be 2 weeks long with definitely a new flow Sunday, and then I'm hoping to get some new flows out for you guys on Wednesday as well. Go ahead and slide your legs all the way out, open palms to the sky, and breathe. Thank you so much for flowing with me. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.